So one area that we get asked about quite a bit is the ability for users to work remotely or from home and still be able to access their business systems, particularly their ERP systems, and Outlook and Word, Excel, etc. Access all their data securely but quickly. And one of the technologies that's been around for a while is terminal services. Microsoft have renamed that to remote desktop services in Windows Server 2008. We're going to show you now how easy it is to connect to that, how easy it is to publish applications and for your users just to be able to connect and work if they're on a PC, as long as it has an internet connection on it. So first thing I'm going to do is fire up a browser. I'm currently working on a Windows 7 client here. We're going to connect to a Windows Server 2008 R2 installation. So I'm just working from home. You can see if I go down to my internet connection, I'm just on a normal ADSL connection at home. So I'm not in the office, but it's very easy for me to connect. So I fire up a browser. I've got a favorites added in there, a link to my favorites, which takes me off to our gateway at the office. So we've got the remote desktop services connection screen pop up. I'm just going to log on with my normal network credentials. I don't have to remember anything else apart from my username and my password. So these should be familiar to most folk. And once we've signed in, we get our applications that are available to us. So our administrator has granted us access to whatever he sees fit. In this instance, I can see I have links to Dynamics Nav, Outlook 2007, Word 2007, and a few others. I also have the ability to have a full desktop if I want to, but for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to fire up an application. So let's fire up Word. I don't have Word Office 2007 installed on my machine locally, so we're going to run this remote. So imagine I'm unable to get to the office today, but I need to use Word 2007 to do my job. So again, I'm just going to log on and give it a second. We will have Word firing up on us. We'll notice down the bottom it's now connected to that remote app, and I have in front of me a copy of Word 2007. So just as you can see, it looks like a normal application that's loaded. I can use all the features, I can type, I can work absolutely normal. So if I just begin to type, and once I've typed something, I can begin to edit my document as I would normally, even though it's not installed on my PC. I can change the font, I can change the size of the font, and just as we do in the local versions of Word, we can preview our changes before we accept them. So I can see how the font size changes there. I can select it, and I can carry on working, and it will just keep on going. I have no real idea that this is not loaded locally. There's no difference in performance. It just works seamlessly and it's great. If I wanted to print, you might think that throws me with a problem. I might want to print to my printer I have at home. So how does the server back at the office know about that? Well, if I select print, the terminal services session is clever enough to know that I have a local printer installed on my PC here. So I have the HP PhotoSmart D7300, which is my local printer at home, so I can print and the document will come down from the office and will begin to print right next to me. Of course, I can still print to the printers that are in the office that I use day in, day out. I can see them all listed. So again, if I want to fire it off in the office and then get someone to chuck it in an envelope and throw it in the post, that's available to me as well. Exactly the same with saving our document. I can save the document on my PC if I want to, or it will go back to the company network, and I might be limited or restricted on where I can save it to, depending on what policy has been applied on me. So we might insist that all the documents still save back to the normal file structure on the network to make sure we don't have different copies of documents being saved on different PCs. Either way, we have the flexibility to make that decision as an IT department and then roll it out for our users. So Word works exactly as you expect it to. I'm just going to close that down for a moment. I don't want to save it in this instance, and it takes me back to my application screen where I can choose what I want to fire up next. I'm just going to actually sign out of here and just show you some of the changes now, because that type of technology, just close the browser down as well, that technology has been around for some time with terminal services and pioneered by companies like Citrix. What we have now though is I don't have a browser open, I'm just on, have an internet connection at the moment through my Wi-Fi at home, and I now have an icon on my desktop which has been set up for me. And you can see that it says Microsoft Dynamics Nav Client 2009 Service Pack 1, but it tells me it's a remote desktop services connection. This means the application, again, is not installed on my local PC. It's going to fire up a terminal services session and launch it. But no more or no longer do I have to go to the browser and log in from there. I can now just have a desktop as though it's any other application. But when I click on it now, it's going to ask me for my credentials again. So I'll just type those in and log on. And once I do that, give it a moment. Down the bottom right hand corner it tells me it's connecting again, and here comes the application. So I'm just seeing the loading screen. Now Nav is an ERP system that won't work over a VPN. There's just too much data that goes back and forth, so it's just not going to work well at all over a fat client. So we're using it here with terminal services, nothing at all installed on my PC here. It's all working remotely, so I have my normal entry screen I can see when I log on to Nav. It knows who I am, and I can then begin to work with my application. So quite easy for me to go in and maybe have a look at a sales order or any sales orders that are outstanding. I might want to have a look at a particular company and double click on those and see what's going on and see any information that I want. So very quickly and easily I can fire that application up and work. I can print again normally as on my local printer or on my network printer. But the reason I'm showing you that is that it takes out that stage you've always had to do before, which is to go to the browser. I don't have to do that, so I don't have to have a VPN. I don't have to remember to go to the browser. I just have had a desktop put on my, an icon put on my desktop by IT, the IT department, and I can work. So from a user's perspective, this is great. There's no multiple passwords or all different procedures I have to go to get to the application I want to do my job. It's there, and I can just use it, which for users and IT departments together makes life a lot easier. It's secure, it's fast, it's reliable, and so whether it's bad weather, whether it's travel strikes, whether it's just people want the flexibility to work from home, even out of hours, we now have the solutions to that, and it's all available with Windows Server 2008. And the feature I've just showed you there, remote app, is available with Windows 7, Windows Vista with a certain service pack, and even goes back as far as XP Service Pack 3 now. So this can be rolled out across the organization as long as you've got the Windows Server 2008 R2 product loaded back at the office. Anyway, I hope that was of some use. If you have any questions, obviously feel free to drop me a mail. My email address is liam.walton@techman.co.uk. That's Techman, Techman.